Okay, so we're gonna start off with a little bit about your background. Where were you born?
So I was born in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. March, I'm about to say October. I don't even know my own birthday. March 18th, 1982. And so from Oklahoma, but I didn't grow up there though.
Oh,
I grew up in the Dallas area.
I was close to Oklahoma. I live like right on the border.
Okay.
Texoma.
Yeah, Texoma. Yeah.
Yeah.
Super familiar with Texoma.
What made you choose to go to TSU?
I was a heavy recruit in athletics and track and field coming out of high school, and I had a lot of offers. Track and field generally at that time didn't offer full rides at big schools, like full 4-year rides. So they would offer 2 years and partials, and that was too uncertain for me. So I was at a track meet one day, and the guy came up to me, shook my coach's hand, shook my hand, and said, "I want to offer you a full 4-year scholarship." Where? Kidding me? He said Texas Southern University. At that time, I was living in Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, wow.
So I was desperate. I moved from the Dallas area because my mom became ill, and I was desperate to get back to Texas. And so that was my opportunity to come here for free. And I came.
Yeah.
TSU undergrad.
What was your major that you started off?
So I started off in political science.
Mm-hmm.
Then I switched it because I was like, can a politician make money? So I switched it to biology.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had a lot of success in track and field, so I stopped school to go compete for a while. Mm-hmm. Then when I came back, I graduated from the University of Houston downtown, and my major was interdisciplinary studies, just so I could get out. Yeah.
When you were growing up, or at any time, did you ever experience any type of racial? Were you ever racially profiled?
Absolutely. I'm from a one high school town outside of Dallas called DeSoto High School, DeSoto, Texas. And it was predominantly, at that point, now it's not, but it was predominantly white. And so, again, I was one of the top athletes in the school, so the athletic department and the athletic teams were known to be just black. They were black. That's all we did. We did. So we were known as the football team or the basketball team for this small town, and but not for anything else. So I remember going into my 10th grade year. I had a teacher tell me, "Oh, you're one of the football players. You're going to automatically get an A." Most people would think that was good, and I was like, "Wait, no, I don't want to automatically get an A. I'm actually an honor student. I was an AP student.
Yeah.
So like, I actually want to work from what I want." "Well, no, you don't have to. Your kind doesn't have to." "Whoa, my kind." That's what he said. "Your kind." I said, "What do you mean, my kind?" "Well, your kind."
Yeah.
We had this high thing, and I was like, "Okay, wow." The second time it was the first time I'd ever really encountered overt and just blatant racism and profiling. The second time was when I was in Memphis, my junior year, and I was working at a store at an Office Max, like one of the little summer jobs. And there was an older white lady, who was on my aisle. And so I went to ask her, "How you doing, ma'am? What can I help you find?" She was older, so I wanted to make sure she could read something. "No, I don't need your help from your kind. I never did." Wow. And this was in Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee, so it was a lot more racially charged at that point. And after that, I was profiled by the police officers because my car had Texas tags. Mm-hmm. So having Texas tags in Memphis was not really good. Look, evidently, there was a lot of drug trafficking coming from Texas to Tennessee, and so that was always getting pulled over for that. It's crazy.
That is crazy. How was your experience at TSU?
Man, I loved it. My experience was really, really, no, I'm serious. I loved my undergraduate experience. It was challenging. It was tough. Administratively, things could have been a lot better. Mm-hmm. I think that it taught me how to be on top of my business affairs, my personal affairs. It taught me about documentation. It taught me about follow through and follow up. It taught me about just life, these things I needed to learn in life, period. Socially, it was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah. It was fun. I pledged. I was a student athlete, track and field. I was successful at that. I was in student government. I went to all of the campus functions and activities. I had a great time. I really did.
Do you think that HBCUs are more beneficial to, or more beneficial?
Well, I think it kind of depends in what context. I will say that HBCUs traditionally, um, I'm a proponent and an advocate of them. I think that it's good to pay homage to what they stand for, why HBCUs were founded for African Americans, for blacks. Um, so in terms of that, I am a proponent of it, just to perpetuate the culture and to really keep the culture going. I do, I would like in my experience with the HBCUs, I would like us to be a bit more accountable and stronger to with our actions than just our lip service. To our young people, to our students. As someone who's on the other side of it now, I think that a lot of my colleagues need to step down and or embrace the new generation, the way the new generation perceives things, sees things, how to relate to them, etc. Instead of just being stuck in our ways, because we're losing a lot of our students to schools that are having more innovative practices,
Right.
that are having more creative ways to impart the information, the curriculum, etc. to them. So I think that in that regard, we can really grow. I've been affiliated with a number of different HBCUs, and that's kind of been the sentiment that I've gotten the whole time. But we get that going. It's on, Pop. It's on. Yeah, I
So,
love HBCUs.
Do you think that the education that we get at HBCUs are better or in any way different from, well, they are different, but better or less than what you would get at a predominantly white school?
I think in terms of better or worse, I don't think we can measure it in that regard. I think that it provides an opportunity to be a bit more holistic culturally. HBCUs, having gone to a PWI and an HBCU, it's nothing like an HBCU. The culture is totally different. The things that we hold dear and near are really, we try to cultivate in HBCU a family atmosphere. And when you go to a traditional HBCU, that to me is invaluable, because you generally have the professors and the faculty members and the staff that really tries to connect one to one, sister to brother, father to son, mother to child type of mentor-mentee relationship. We try to build that into it. So in that regard, I think that that's a really special advantage of an HBCU, that you have that connection with the students. In terms of better or worse, I don't want to get into that, simply because that's semantic and it's kind of opinionated. I will say that some of the strongest programs in the country are run are housed at HBCUs. When you look at law programs and pharmacy programs and even business programs coming out of our pharmacy program is tops in the state here. You look at Morehouse's business program is one of the tops in the state. The law school at Howard is one of the tops in the country. So you look at things of that nature, we definitely can compete. But to me, the culture is just you can't compare. Yeah, you can't compare.
Do you think that there are a lot of people, like everyone in general, not just blacks, not just whites, but everyone who are not aware of HBCUs?
Yeah, I think, well, on a grand scale, yeah. I think that outside of African Americans, HBCUs are largely under promoted and underappreciated. Some people try to say that HBCUs promote reverse racism, and I get that understanding and I get that methodology and that mode of thinking, but I don't agree. I think it's just being proud of your community and proud of what our ancestors have built for us. So, but I don't think on a grand scale people understand the magnitude and the importance and the weight that the African American community that HBCUs have. Yeah, it's just faculty members at other schools know about them because we know about colleges, period. But when you start talking about the general public, an HBCU, they're not really aware of it, and it's a shame.
I was one of those students who didn't know. My mom was like, "That's a HBCU." I was like,
"What does that mean?"
What is it? Yeah, I didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because it's just not the rhetoric around HBCUs that is underfunded. It doesn't have the great best facilities. I mean, that does exist, but still, you know, we offer so much.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad I came here.
Good. I'm glad you came too.
How do you think that we could encourage more Blacks to attend an HBCU?
I think it's about your recruiting efforts. I think it's about the university really hankering down and making a strong concerted effort to get into the urban schools, which generally speaking are more African American, and selling the school. I think another reason is another way to do it is to, for students to get involved in that process as well, to talk about your experiences, because it's one thing. Think about when you were in school and a professor came or a recruiter came. It seemed all well and good and it was cool.